Hello, beautiful family. How are you doing? Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. So, I just brought this particular update because there is something that draw my attention in this. Pastor Emeka Livingstone just make us to understand a lot of things because people normally make this the same statement saying that, oh, if we tell you what Simon Ekpa has done in this Biafra struggle, you will not believe. But hearing from Pastor Emeka Livingstone himself shows that Mazi Simon Ekpa has done a lot, involved a lot, put a lot into this Biafra struggle that a lot of people did not know. But I bring this update for you to know that out of every nonsense, there is a sense. There are places where himself exposed some kind of things that they have done, some kind of achievement that Simon Ekpa has put in place, and he confirmed it by himself. In fact, when I listen to this, it makes me feel so sad because if these people has been working with Mazi Simon Ekpa for a very long time and they have gone this far, I see no reason why little something will be bringing misunderstanding. But trust me, I'm still coming back to say my own side of this issue. But before then, you must listen to Pastor Emeka Livingstone. So when I am talking, you will know where I am talking from and why I talk the way I do. So listen to him and I'll be right back.
Said against me to Simon. I didn't know until one day Simon said it out. We were in a meeting, Autopilot Media. An issue came up where I don't want to go to that one. So I represented Autopilot Media because nobody was bold enough to talk. So I talked. And someone was, beginning to prepare to attack me. It was 247 that came in and told someone, no, don't attack Pastor. That the thing there is that this is what we all agreed. So it's not Pastor's fault. Now, he now challenged me and said, this is how you sack somebody from your group. I said, I never sacked anybody. Who said so? He said, okay, the person sacked himself. I said, fine. It was that Imam Abuma, what they call him. I don't know his surname, but his name is Imam. He was the one that went to Simon and told him a lot of stories against me. But it didn't bother me because a lot of times, if I didn't do anything, I don't bother myself responding unless there is need for me to do some clarification. But if you can talk for all you know, I won't even listen. I won't even respond to you. So this Emma left our platform. I didn't know. And one day Kelechi told me that Emma said he has left our platform because I addressed him in a way he didn't like. I said, he said, yes. I said, put a call to him, Emma. Let me find out and apologize to him. Because that's how we work in the platform. We respect each other. You don't abuse people. Everybody has his brains and they all came at this level. So that you are the chairman of the platform doesn't mean that you should disrespect people. Ask them, they will tell you who I am. Ask Ngozi, ask Ruby. Ask Okwole, Wadioka. And so, when he put the call, Emma didn't pick. Then, after a day later, I think, or 2 days, I put a call to Emma, he picked. I was talking. He didn't talk to me, but just listening. So I said, Brema, can we talk? He was not. I said, good afternoon, sir. Can we talk, Brema? He couldn't talk. So there was nothing I could do. I tried to get across to him. He couldn't. So I let him. So he went at the level where he worked with Simon, which is good. I never asked. I never bothered until Simon raised him up in the platform and said, you sacked him. I said, I never did. So when Simon with his mouth said that Emma resigned by himself, I wanted now to explain. Simon hushed it. The case was overtaken by another talk. So I decided to let it go. So Victor Adim was the man that Kelechi called him and said, why did you insist that they should put these people's names in our currency? Victor said, for the selfless or sacrifices they have made for the Biafran project. And Kelechi was asking Victor, what kind of sacrifice? Because Kelechi understood what it means to be in the currency of a nation. If you Biafrans don't think it that way, it means that you are not even ready for the independence, because you're talking about a whole nation. You're not talking about an organization where you put maybe the chairman's picture, the secretary, and you're talking about a whole nation. I'm telling you. So when he asked Victor, Victor said, what kind of sacrifice? He said, okay, gave $30,000. And Ngozi has been able to bring people together. She has done a lot of selfless job. Kelechi asked him, is that the reason why you put her face and that of Azuka in her currency. He said, what about Azuka? I said, Azuka's father's house was burned down, or her house was burned down. Kelechi said he couldn't believe what he was hearing. That Pastor Victor. You know why I'm saying this? Pastor Victor is a man of God. We belong to the same camp as children of God. If what I'm saying is a lie, let Pastor Victor come out and say it. If it is true and he doesn't want to speak, and he goes to bed and pray to God in heaven and have peace, then, Pastor Victor, in fact, let me not speak anything because you're a man of God, but let me say the truth. The Lord God will judge you because the Lord brought you to that level to be a kind of shield for Simon Ekpa. Remember when you called me and told me that Ngozi Orabweze is overbearing and that the recruitment team that Simon Ekpa raised, which Ngozi is heading, most of the job falls on you. And Ngozi wants to be everywhere, commanding everything. And I told you, I said, do your job as a man of God, that you are there to do good job and protect things, put proper things in place for our new nation. While we were on our platform, Ngozi came out with different kinds of ideas that were contrary. If we had put that in our constitution, it would have been the foundation of messing Biafra up from the beginning. And she couldn't find a place in our team to bring her ideas that are contrary. She doesn't. You heard her Kelechi's program where she said she was trying to praise Islam, that Islam is a religion of peace or something like that. So she couldn't find, and then she left. And Victor knows very well her position in our team. Victor is a very good contributor to the think tank. So God sent him ahead of time to be a kind of shield because the pressure, there was a move to penetrate Simon. So maybe Victor did not understand this responsibility. That is why I hold him. I am not angry with Simon. My anger is with Victor, who as a man of God, elder person to Victor is older than me with about 4 years. So he's an elderly fellow whom I respect personally. The guy is his brain, very intelligent guy. So he was somebody that would have stood there to ward off any manipulation or spiritual attacks against this young man. He failed. Unfortunately, Victor fell victim, even into the hands of the person he complained to me against. And that is why all these problems are coming. Because if Victor had stopped it, it wouldn't have happened. He is a man of God, for heaven's sake. And he saw evil coming. He should have stopped it. Rather, he went and was defending. Later on, when Victor came to our platform, because we raised the team, we were praying, when someone was sick or was hospitalized or maybe he took a rest. I called Azuka and told her, tell Simon that he should switch off his both phones, get a new phone with a new SIM card, have only one number there, your number. Among Biafrans, he can have that of his wife. Let it be only you that will communicate Simon, so that the young man will rest his brain and his life and come again, because he's the face of Biafra. After Onyendu, ask her, she'll tell you. She said, no, in 2 days he'll come out. I said, no, don't let him come out. Allow him to relax. God will take care. Let him recuperate very well and be with his mind intact. So God sent Pastor Victor ahead of time to see what he can do as a man. A king do have advisors. And those advisors, among them, you could have somebody who is exceptional. Like King David had Ahithophel, who's the advisor of the government. But he had another advisor, which was a personal friend, Hushai, the Archite. He was not a member of David's team, but was an advisor, a friend of David. So, after Ahithophel must have given his advice, sometimes over dinner or drink, David could meet Hushai the Archite, say, and he was older than David. What do you say about this? And Hushai the Archite would give him a very good advice that will help David. It was this same Hushai the Archite that saved David's throne from being overthrown by Absalom, being backed by Ahithophel, the national advisor. So, Pastor Victor was to stand in for Simon. That is where I feel bad, because he's a man of God. He's grounded in the word of God. This man has pastored churches, has helped pastors build their church. And I told him, you are there to do a spiritual job. Pastor Victor failed. If you still go to bed and sleep, Pastor Victor, without your conscience troubling you, then you have a reprobate mind. Your case is so terrible that you must not confess to God personally. You must come out openly and speak that you missed it. Because you are a man of God. You are an ordained minister of the gospel who should stand for the truth. When we called Pastor Victor in the team and asked him, why did you have to take this route? Pastor Victor said, in fact, Kelechi asked Pastor Victor, do you know whom Michael Opara is? And I can't even. Pastor Victor said he has never heard of them. Whether he did that in denial to prove what he wants to do is right, or maybe truly he doesn't know. But I doubt if he doesn't know truly, because he was born and raised in Igbo land. I'm 63. He's about 67 years old or thereabout, or 68. So he should know. If I know the history of our leaders in Nigeria, in Igbo land, Pastor Victor also has history. So Pastor Victor, for him to tell you that he doesn't know who Michael Opara is, or he has never heard of him, my God, even you small people who are young already have known about Michael Opara. When lies want to prevail, they build up an action against the truth. But let me tell you, keep the truth and bury it. After 3 days, it will rise. This same thing happened when Kelechi confronted Ruby and said, why do you support these people's faces to come in a currency? Do you know who Michael Opara is? Ruby, she's about 50 years. She said she has never heard of, she doesn't even know whom Michael Opara and Akanibiam is. Now, these are the people in the advisory team that EPA had that don't even know the history of Igbo land. That is not, forget about Igbo land. Who doesn't know Akanibiam? Who doesn't know Michael Opara? Who doesn't know Chinua Achebe, who just died a few days ago? Who doesn't know about Sambono Jike? So you can see that something is wrong somewhere. That is why, as I'm talking to you now, I begin to question his stability in thoughts, in how he's doing things. Because if you carry people, that apart, Ngozi Oronebese came out openly and said she is very passionate about Nigeria. That Nigeria will remain as one nation. That it has been long they have been working on it. Those of you who are insulting me, you don't want to listen. Because you are selling yourself into the hands of the devil. And when it will be too late, you'll be crying. It is true that will survive it. Ngozi Oronebese said it openly that he's very passionate about Nigeria. And they've been working towards Nigeria being an indivisible unit. The person who made the investigation concerning Ngozi Oronebese was Gaddafi. He made the investigations, got all the information, and he was the one that sent it to the internet. It was not even me. I didn't even have time to go and start making an investigation. And Ngozi Oronebese was sponsoring a candidate in the north, a Fulani man, for House of Assembly, and was sponsoring, was also a supporter of another woman who was running for the Federal House of Representatives. This thing is in 2023. It was not last year, last 2 years. I mean 2023. She wasn't hiding it. So we began. It is mental balance. The woman you are defending, Koro comes out in the internet and says that she's very passionate about Nigeria, that Nigeria should be an indivisible unit. But you are speaking for the disintegration of Nigeria. Yet she's the one you brought very close to you to work. Hello, something is interfering with my network here, so let me go to my my living room. I was in my bedroom broadcasting. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for your patience. Oh. Okay. So the person whom you have made the closest person to you to run a very, very healthy but controversial move like the Biafran struggle is somebody who is directly interested in seeing to it that elections hold in Nigeria. But you are saying that there should be no election and Biafra should go away. I mean, it's the red flag. If people don't say it's a red flag, Onyendu can never tolerate that. And so, when we told Simon that thing, they went and removed Kelechi. Kelechi came back and told me that they have removed him from the advisory committee. I said, don't worry, let it go. I mean, we are working for Biafran cause. What has the advisory committee got to do? So we had to raise a letter. When Gaddafi had published his findings from the internet, whom Ngozi Oronebese was or is, he was the one that posted it in the internet, not us. And I became very alarmed based on Gaddafi's findings. I decided that we are going to write. I met with my team. I said, what do? We decided we are going to write Simon a letter. And it's a letter I want to read to you. 9th of February. It was an official letter to him. Think Tank Group, Autopilot, Ipob. Dear Master Simon Epa. Those of you who say I insult Simon Epa, look at the manner, the tone of my letter. Because I am well bred. I respect people. They respect me too. He has done business overseas and have been known. Me to have functioned in my own capacity in the area where I am also very well known. I have built a reputation for 36 years in the ministry constantly. You can't just rubbish it. And you there who have heard him come out and make comment calling me idiots, criminals. None of you has ever taken time to call him and said, please slow down on Pastor Livingstone. Whatever problems you guys have, go and settle it indoors. Let me tell you later. I wrote. People like Azuko Konkwo, they're afraid to hear the truth. She say the vex for me. Oh, this is the first time I'm coming out to talk. All this time I've not spoken. Have you ever sat down to call him and said, please, Pastor Livingstone have not been talking. Why don't you cool down? Try to sort this out. Because you don't process information in your mind. Your brain has been abused by the Nigerian situation. You don't have the capacity to think properly. Now, dear Mazi Simon Eba, this think tank group Autopilot Ipob, 9th February 2023. Dear Mazi Simon Eba, crucial national concerns requiring your explicit action. I wrote, we wrote it, but I am the leader. We, the members of the think tank group, otherwise known as the TTG, wish to communicate you on very crucial issues that affect our nation and her drive towards independence. Tell me, listen and tell me where I made mistake or insulted someone here. In recognition of the fact that you have so far proved yourself to be a faithful disciple and spiritual son of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and a great defender of the Biafra cause, we hereby acknowledge and extol your virtues as a true freedom fighter. We also pray that you will continue in this spirit and open your mind to genuine and committed Biafrans who have equally dedicated themselves to this movement for the emancipation of our people from the Nigerian and external threats that have conspired and vowed to eliminate Biafra. In the light of this, we understand the enormous responsibility before you and the pressing pressures that confront you on a daily basis. We cease not to pray for you and Biafra that the vision of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which you have vowed to carry, will speak at the end of the day. Therefore, having diligently considered the burning issues at stake, and having thoroughly understood the implications and consequences they will have on Biafra nation, this very concerned committee have made the following resolutions and therefore request your immediate attention to avert what could turn out to be the greatest ridicule of the Biafran advocacy for self-actualization. We stand in defense of Biafra and your great works to see the Biafran dream manifesting under your watch as appointed by our able leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We pray that God strengthen your heart and ears to listen to and consider the appeal of this voice of reason. Number one, that the proposed currency production for Biafra should be suspended until Onyendu is released and the freedom of Biafra is gained. Number two, that the Biafran currency which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu proposed should not be set aside to introduce a Biafran dollar without the consent of Biafrans as a people, with the mandate to participate in the process of nominating, appointing, or electing seasoned and well-informed personalities with proven integrity and selflessness to dig into our history and national life and nominate persons whose faces will grace our currency and therefore bring honor and create impact on nations and peoples that come in contact with our currency and take us seriously as a nation whose historical antecedents and strides are embedded on the faces of the personalities that appear on our national currency. I hope the grammar is not too much. Those of you that keep talking nonsense, you are illiterate. You don't use your brains. The third one says that the trade by barter be adopted in the alternative if the need be, pending further decision by the Biafran people, even as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu suggested. Nnamdi Kanu only suggested. But there was a plan here to approve it, that the faces would appear. It was what we aborted. That's the whole controversy. Number four, that the committee that sat and proposed faces of Biafrans not worthy of such recognition of honor be considered as having overstretched their bounds in their bid to do what neither Mazi Nnamdi Kanu nor the Biafran people authorized them to do. Nnamdi Kanu will read this letter when it comes out. Number 5, that such power arrogation they exhibited amounted to treason, given to the caliber of people they nominated for such honor, and more so, that they chose among themselves to be so honored, while ignoring the sacrifices of our founding fathers, mothers, and our fallen heroes who laid down their lives that we may live. That's why I offended. So nobody should tell me you should have that. Don't talk it, keep it secret. All this time you've been talking, none of you told him. Why don't you go and settle past living? What's going on? Number 6, that the said committee that comprises members of the G5 and the advisory council urge so much in their bold but shameful audacity that can make the entire Biafra struggle a laughing stock and a ridicule to the Committee of Nations when Biafra comes. Number 7, that this committee is comprising these nefarious persons be dissolved and their members suspended from access to sensitive positions and information in the Biafra struggles. Number 8, that their removal will be immediate to avert any evil they may have intended against the struggle, having made a clever but clandestine penetration into the commanding heights of this great advocacy for independence. Number 9, that a fact-finding committee be set up to immediately investigate the actions and activities of the members of the G5 and by extension, the advisory committee. Number 10, that the Central Working Committee be constituted immediately, a Central Working Committee be constituted immediately to help you navigate the murky waters of treachery and sabotage directed to truncate the Biafran struggle for independence. It is our collective wish that you pause, reflect, and project, and then think about the following. A, what are the intentions of those who came up with and agreed the faces to feature on Biafra currency? B, how will Biafrans feel, let alone outsiders, if these people succeeded and this became public knowledge? So we're still hiding it. It was secret to some. We didn't want anybody to know. It was it that came out. C, is it not out of the abundance of the heart the man speaketh? So has not the salt lost its taste? The recommendations for immediate dissolution of these bodies may seem difficult, but be rest assured, the TTG is here to selflessly navigate this with you, should you wish. That is, should he wish. If he doesn't wish, no problem. But let him do a good thing. Biafra is our goal, and our foundation must be built on excellence, selflessness, and prudence. Yours faithfully. I put down the names. Sign, Pastor Mecca Livingstone, Prince Ezemi Hanacho, Adaza Nezukama, Gaddafi of Biafra, Kelechi Ambrose. That was our sin that we told Simon. Please look into this. All this thing we discussed here, this letter, is there any place that Simon was insulted or abused? No. And after looking at it as a leader, I had expected him to either call us and say, no, he's not going to do it, or he will ignore us. But what he did was, he went on air to say we are envious. Thereby, do I look, that thing, does it look like we are envious? I have told you that I don't have interest in being an official in Biafra when Biafra comes tomorrow. I don't have interest. I want to go back to Biafra and preach the gospel. I've said that. And all those who are in this team, especially Prince Esem, they are elderly people. So if there should be anybody that can work in Biafra tomorrow as a young man, it's Kelechi and Gaddafi. Those of us 3 elders were not interested. We made it known. And he came out and said what he said. When I came out to share my own side of the story, because he said he doesn't know the think tank group. He doesn't know them. That kind of comment. People who don't reason very well, a lot of foolish people that we have. He said I went and formed a group to monitor what Azuka is doing. You see how stupid this Azuka Okonkwo is. Who formed the group to monitor? Where did you get that? I'm coming to that. I'm coming to address you. Because as you keep talking in this your stupidity, after talking, you are going to face your judgment, because God will judge you. Because you don't want Biafra. You're an evil person. So, when that thing had happened, he had said that thing, I went to clear myself. Because he said he doesn't know the think tank group. So I told Biafrans, how can Simon say he doesn't know the think tank group? If it is this think tank group that he approached to design a constitution for Biafra, can you imagine, those of you who are arguing here, you're very stupid. Let your brains function. He says, I don't know the think tank group. I've never heard of them. But it was this same think tank group that he called and said, please, design a constitution for Biafra. And we did. It made us to go back to school again, to go and study the constitution of America, Rwanda, Australia, Ghana. I like to bring something that will favor. Kelechi played a fantastic role in this constitution program. Ask Pastor Victor, he will tell you. Kelechi was the one that was taking everything we were talking, arguing, removing, adding, because you can't just form a constitution. We have to study all constitution to produce one that is, homogeneous to the Biafrans. The day we started this thing, I told Kelechi, may God help you. You have a lot of job to do. He said, God will help him. Prince SM was reluctant to be part of this thing. But I told him, he said, well, that he has thought of it, that God is making him understand that he can be there. Because he said he's not a lawyer. And do you know, by the grace of God, after about 7 months, we're able to produce a constitution for Biafra. If I am speaking against Biafra, it is you, Azoka, Nwanko, that is better. You can do what we did. I don't want to curse you, because if I curse you, it will happen. It is better you leave this page. Because when I place a curse on you, you will not see Biafra. I tell you the truth. If my heart is true where the Lord is and where Biafra is, no, I will not say anything. Just go away. Because you cannot offend me to start talking. I'm a child of God, you know. The Bible says don't curse, but bless. So, how can you say you don't know the think tank group? When they were the same people you called and said, please, the United Nations want documents, written things that will make them look into the oppressed regions of the world. Please make your submission. It was this think tank group that wrote it. I submitted it to Simon. He took it to the United Nations. He said you don't know them. All the guy from wine, then keep against them. How do you think that man will look at you? This same think tank group, when letters were being raised up to send to embassies, different nations in the world, it was this. He told us. We wrote it, gave it to him, he said. This same think tank group that says he doesn't know, it's a lie. He came out just to vilify. It's not being hot-tempered. There must be something I don't understand, because I am not dragging anything with Sam. Listen, I'm not in any position of authority. In fact, I had left. I will tell you why I left the Autopilot media team. I'll tell you today. So, we formulated code of conduct for Biafrans. Pastor Victor played a major role in the formulation of code of conduct for Biafrans. So if Simon says he does not know think tank group and Pastor Victor heard it and kept quiet, then Victor is a liar. Victor is a coward. Because he played a big role. That means Simon is telling him, I don't recognize you and what you did for Biafra. That is what Simon Epa is telling Victor. And if Victor is keeping quiet, Simon Epa will happen to Victor. Because Victor has disappointed the faith of Jesus Christ as a man of God. He was the one that called me personally. I was laying to me his pains and worries. And I encouraged him in the Lord. I said, bro, don't worry. But now look at Victor. He's the person whom I can challenge and talk to. I'm not going to challenge or talk to Simon. I'm just here to explain myself. I can't be, coming out and be fighting with Simon. He's a younger man. It is Victor. Because all my help is in Omegi. This same body that Simon says he does not know formed the Biafran National Pledge. This same body. Bro, if after that you have done, and somebody says that I don't know what you have done, I don't know you, but he took those things, presented it to Biafrans, and we all thank God. In fact, our intention of writing that thing, even the economic blueprint for Biafra to take off, which we submitted to Simon also. That one was our own dream and vision, which we had. We told him. He came to our platform several times. Encouraged us. And we gave it to him. Why would he say that he doesn't know? It's not fair. So there must be some animosity. I don't know where that is coming from. Maybe the animosity is against the whole think tank group or any other person. Now, before he made mention of that comment on Facebook, which I went to share my own side of the story, Prince, myself, Abdaz Zion, I think Kelechi, were with Simon, and we were discussing issues. We raised up issues. So after Simon has insulted this woman, and later on apologized, Prince now told Simon, it looks like we are disturbing you. So from now onwards, anything we hear, we will not tell you, we'll just keep quiet and let you do your thing so that maybe we are distracting you. Simon said, no, please. I need you to always come. Feel free every time. Please don't fail to call me. God in heaven knows this is what Simon said. And Prince told him that, let me tell you, Simon, the very day I knew you were having a problem was when people that had money to give came into the project. That I am telling you, Simon, let me just inform you, that people who tell you they're bringing too much money, they have stakes, which you may not know. That you should be very careful. Simon told him that day in my hearing that he's not moved by money, that henceforth anybody that brings money to him, I'm very good in remembering things. That's why I don't record. I don't even know how to record things. When you're talking to people, they begin to record so that they can use it against you tomorrow. If your conscience is clear, you're saying from your heart whom you are. You don't need to record it because anyway, call me, I'll answer it. I will answer. I don't record things. It's not necessary. And then someone made that comment. It was that night that Azuka called me and said, please, stop. Why didn't you tell me before now? I told her, I said, Madam Azuka, this thing was sent to Simon as a leader. All he should have done was to copy the thing to you. Livingstone, so that both of you can put your heads together. Even if you are going to disregard it, you can disregard it. So I was asking, Azuka, does it mean he did not tell? She said she didn't tell him. I said, okay. So when Ngozi Odabose's case came up, Azuka said she took the thing to Simon and told him, have you heard about Ngozi Odabose? Look at what they said she is. Azuka said Simon was shocked. I am telling you, I've not spoken all this while. I've been praying, waiting, hoping that somehow, even you Biafrans, will call him by the corner and say, please, slow down with Pastor Livingston and his team. You have seen what they have done. Go back and see how you can, for me, as I'm talking to you now, if he comes back, I was even talking on Facebook. I told Biafrans, Simon is a human being, he could make mistakes. Even Solomon, whom God anointed, made mistakes. So don't blame him, don't condemn. I said it. I told the DOS, that we are still backing up Simon Epa. I said, you people will not remember that. I said it. Because evil has, that's what Nnamdi Kanu said. Evil has entered into your brain. You cannot decipher that which is good and that which is evil. And because you think you have zeal for Biafra. We'll get Biafra. In the process, you begin to commit atrocity, killing people, destroying them. You don't know that you cannot kill a Biafran, destroy his house, his home to get Biafra. It's not going to work. Because you cannot make the foundation of a nation on lies, murder, blood. It should be in righteousness. Give me just a moment. Let me get water. I want to drink water. Please, just a moment. Yeah, so that was what happened when I was explaining. So Azuka said, pull down this thing. That is it because I'm a woman, you didn't respect me. I said, no. I told him, all he should have done was to call you. You see this Azuka? Somebody came out and said, I am accusing Azuka. If Azuka is listening to me, tell the whole world, have I ever accused you, Azuka, even for once? Up to today, as I'm talking to you now, have I raised an accusation against you? Anybody that has accusation against Azuka is different from what I am saying. I am talking in respect to the think tank. But because people don't know how to process something in your mind, you collectively rope everything together and then throw it on somebody. If Azuka can be truthful before the God of heaven, let him tell the whole world, have I for once raised any accusation against? Even when, if he met me at the Ipob Autopilot media team, they presented their case. It was me that was nominated to go and see Simon and Azoka. And you don't expect me, I'm going to see Azoka, I go and confront her, begin to fight her. No. You're approaching a leader, regardless whether she's a man or a woman. She's the leader. I don't care whether I'm older than her, she's older than me. As far as I'm concerned, she's a leader. So when I approached Azoka, it was with respect. And she cooled down and downloaded to me for 2 hours, 5 minutes. Have you seen? Blessing was here, man. He's telling me I shouldn't go too far. I'm not going too far. Blessing, I just want to clarify my name. I just want to clarify my name, Blessing. The point is that I've built a reputation for myself. I'm a family man, I have a wife. When people insult me, my wife sees it. My son see it. And they know me, how I have contributed. I put my face. I can't go to Nigeria again. I can't. Until Biafra comes. I put my face on the line. I have put everything. I know men of God that have told me that I am missing it. I put my reputation for Biafra. So you cannot come and destroy. You come out and say, these idiots, these saboteurs. You keep talking. You don't have any proof, no evidence. I wrote you a letter. My offense against Simon Epa was I said, your face and that of Azuka can never appear in a currency. That's not going to happen. I told him, it's not going to happen. And boys are no good. So if somebody raises $50,000 now or $100,000 now and gives Simon, the person's face will appear in a currency. Because we need money to prosecute the war. Yes, if Oge gave 30,000 or Azuka's father's house was burnt, or boys gave some money. So if somebody gets up now and raises $200,000 and gives someone else, the person's face will appear in the Biafran currency. I mean, it's a laugh. It's a big laugh. So please begin to process something in your mind. And so when that thing happened, Azuka said, please bring it down. I said, okay, I'm going to bring it down on condition. Because before I brought it down, I did not even consult with my group, and that was a fault. Because I was supposed to consult with them first, because they agreed with me that I should go on air to clarify issues. And when I went to clarify issues, I never insulted Simon Epa. I was giving my own side of the story, because he says he does not know the think tank group, which was a lie. A blatant lie in the face of the whole world. That was why I gave him references. He has not refuted it up to today. If I lie against him, let him come out and say it. He has not refuted it. That's the fact. And so, the condition with which that thing should be brought down was this. You are going to make investigation concerning Ngozi Orabueze and others. That's number one. Number two, you are going to call back a meeting and let's discuss this issue. Azuka did not do what we agreed. So the following day, I put it back on internet based on the advice and instructions of my colleagues. And that was the only credible evidence to show our innocence so far until now that I'm talking again. Otherwise, all that Simon has said against me, a lot of you swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. If all we are doing, we can be expended to get Biafra, so shall you also be expended. You can be expended too. My boy said, Stanley Ajude, you're telling me that, please, man of God, stop. All the time someone was talking, my boy said, did you ever write on Facebook, Simon, please stop? Did you? His number normally appears. Did you call him and say, Simon, please stop? Go and settle with man of God. Did you? You see, that is what worries me. That is what worries me. That our people don't even sit down to think very well before talking. You're asking me to stop. Did you for once? I've not been talking for 3 weeks now. He has been vilifying me. He said I'm excommunicated and I have meeting with people. Why is he sending people into our team? You said this man is... I'm going to define to you the meaning of Ipob and Autopilot. I'm going to make the definition. So just wait. So I put that thing back on the internet. And Azuka came back and wanted to meet with us. When she came to meet with us, she said she has gone and by her own investigation and consideration, all that thing we said about Ngozi is not true. Kelechi said, are you kidding me? Azuka began to make some accusations against me. So, there's something with me. When I want to start arguing issues with you, I don't write them down. I normally have points. 2 times I've been in the court of law before a trial judge without a lawyer. Those 2 times I've won my case. I've won those 2 cases. One was in Nigeria and the other one is in America here. You know what it means to appear in an American court without an attorney? I appeared in the court and I defended myself. They presented their case and talked and talked. I had no paper. I just sat down. When they finished talking, the trial judge asked me, do we give you a lawyer? I said, no, I'm going to talk for myself. That's why I'm talking to myself for myself now here. After I finished talking, the judge wrote, Americans know me. My name, they know me. If I'm lying, they'll come and arrest me and throw me for lying against this nation. She wrote a paper and gave me a very high recommendation in America here that this man is truthful, straight to the point, honest, and his statements are without embellishments. Do you know what it means for a judge to give such an account of you in America without a lawyer? I have taken time to build a reputation by serving the God of heaven. Somebody is coming somewhere to come and destroy. Then, a cursed idiot like Azuka Eokonko, whom you are forcing me. Let me not pursue. Just go. Just get out of this place. You said you are going. Please go away. Stop distracting me. So, most of the people in America here get lawyers to go and fight their case in the court. Me, I stood myself and spoke. I spoke the truth. After talking, it was lectures. They began to ask me questions. I was answering. By the time I finished, they wrote, recommended. I have the document here. So anywhere I go in America, they know me already. I'm in the system. My documents show it. I'm a permanent resident. I can travel anywhere in the world with my family. Let me tell you. I told Simon at the beginning, when this thing was boiling, I said, we need a world council. If you want, because there's pressure on you, and we have to fight this Nigerian project. I have people. At one short notice, you don't have to come over. We'll fly over to Finland, discuss with you, and run our strategy on how we're going to deal with this issue of Biafra so that we can get at this thing. I was going to do it at my own expense. Everything I've done in Biafran struggle, not even a single money has come. It's me that is spending directly into the Biafran post and to Biafrans who I need, both at home and abroad. It's what I do. I'm not here to blow my trumpet. But I'm telling you, that is why when these people talk this thing, I begin to ask God, help you people. So, when Azuka came to her platform, she began to insult everybody, even the woman that was here. After she has insulted us, she left and came back again and apologized. When I began to ask Azuka certain pointed questions, she quickly excused herself that she has made her point. It was not my point for me to talk. Just like what happened between her and Ifeanyi. It was not my own time to start asking questions because she was arguing with her panel. Talking. She said she shall talk. She talked. You know, Prince and Kelechi and Madam, they just kept quiet. We all kept quiet. They listened. After she had finished talking, I started asking pointed questions. I asked the first one. When I was to go to the second one, I said, please, I have another meeting coming up. I told them, let her go. It's Biafran. She left, and that was all. That was all. That was what happened. We told Simon that your face cannot appear in the Biafran currency. The face of Azuka can never appear in the Biafran currency. When Azuka said that Ngozi Onabueze is free and clean, she has discovered, we told her, are you kidding me? Are you sure of what you're saying? Look at the evidences we have. When did you set up the panel? You left us yesterday and came back today. Do you know to investigate something? Oh my God. When I sit there, I begin to think, do you know what it means? You're dealing with a nation. It's not a one-man organization. And a very weighty allegation is made against a young woman that she is an agent that has infiltrated the hierarchy of the Biafran struggle with evidences from the internet which she has seen. And she saw it and sent it to Simon. The person who gave that evidence was Gaddafi. And you're not telling us that you have just heard from the woman based on your conclusion. She's not what. Even Simon was defending Ngozi Onabueze in the platform when we called him. He said, Ngozi, I think he's a doctor or something, working in health services, and that she meets a lot of people. That even him, his law firm has suffered a lot because of his stand in Biafra. So sometimes some of your clients may not be Christians, they could be Muslims. And because of that, you can lose clients who are Muslims also. That's what Simon was saying. That because of that, he understands Ngozi, that some of her clients could be Muslims. And she would not like to lose business. That's why she's making this comment that Islam also is a religion of peace. She has, because, Asuka said, Ngozi said she has met with 4 imams and discussed with them. I was looking at her, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Defending the indefensible? And he stood his ground and was insulting this woman on account of Ngozi Onabueze. And when I told him that he should stop it, it's not good, he's doing the wrong thing, his apology was just careless. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, talk, say what you want to do, man. Could you send him because she was upset? And he left. So when he left, I made that comment. I made my defense. Azuka came into our platform. We talked and she left. Up to today, I've not accused Azuka of anything. The monetary issue and account issue, everybody saw it in the internet. Why don't you make reference to it? What has that got to do with Emeka Livingstone? I'm not part of finance. I am not. I don't want to be anywhere. I told them, nothing. I don't want to be. I just want to be talking. The only place I had wanted to be was the Oduduwa Biafra Alliance. That has to do with publicity so that I can project our image from my own little contribution to the Oduduwas and the whole world. That was where I requested from Simon, I'd like to be there. Any other thing I wasn't in. Even Autopilot media, many of the time when they have meetings, their meeting clashes with the time, our time in America. When they have meetings, the time we normally go out for business in America. I'm not employed. I do my own business. I would have taken a job, but I needed flexible time to deal with the Biafran issue. So I had a business that, by God's grace, is moving fine. And so I could deal with the Biafran issue. I needed time to give attention to my people. If I were working, I wouldn't be on the internet. In America here, they won't allow you. You see? So that's what is going on. So, when these things have happened, and Azuka knows that I didn't do anything to her, this thing that is happening, Mazi 247 has not called me personally. If you don't have aught against me, and you heard that I pulled out of the Autopilot media team, you pick your phone and call me and say, Pastor Meka, why did you leave? Not even any one of them has called me to ask. That means they wanted me out. And you can hear the comment of 247 the other day. I don't even want to respond to that because it's not mentally stable. A lot of times you agree on something, it goes and begins to talk nonsense. You know, I called him a free radical agent in the Autopilot media team. I told 247 several times that you are with us, but you are free. You are not under control of Autopilot media. So when we discuss, information will come. He will just rush to the internet and start talking. We tell him, no, don't go yet. Have you heard from Simon? Let us process information before you go out. Well, you know, he's doing it to make money. So you don't blame him. So he doesn't process things very well. He's more of an Agbero in the way he talks and behaves. You see them when we gather to talk, hearing careless talk flying up and down. Or when they are doing why I don't follow them in presentation when they are doing their prayer. I did it once or twice. I stopped. Because careless talks that does not help me. Nonsense, careless talks come up. You begin to ask, are these people serious? You are addressing Biafrans? Amongst yourself. I don't partake in that. If I someone tell you, when we gather again after we have discussed with you people, once we reach an heavy on Jacare and Marcia and Paula, I leave. I don't have time for that kind of thing. When you go out to the public to address the public, don't begin to tell our it be like say chop beans. That woman in beans sweet you this morning. This one say yes. The other one, it be like say you lick in pepper. All that is nonsense talk. You don't come out in the you're addressing Biafra for heaven's sake. Don't you understand that you're dealing with a nation? You're not dealing with you're not on, a TikTok show. You're talking concerning nation. Your face represents the nation on the social media platform. So you should be serious. Whenever you come, be very serious. Go straight to the point. Deal with issues. None of them ever called me and asked me, why did you leave? No. And I understand though, there's an ultimatum. They are afraid. Nobody can. Because if 247 speaks contrary, someone will blacklist him, sanction him, his subscribers will go down, money no go come out. So everybody's afraid. I am telling you the truth. He's a maximum ruler. And they're afraid. They come. If you see what they say on the platform against Simon himself, you won't believe it. But when Simon appears, they can boldly talk. The only person whom I can vouch for, who is a bold person and can be consistent in doing his thing, is Ajere. And Ajere was suspended sometime, then he came in, or he left, and then came in, joined us. He's been consistent. I think he was the only person whom I heard said, why did I bring down that thing? That I should send it back to the internet. That's what he said. Why did I bring down that message, which Ajoka told me to bring down? That is not right. I should put it back to the internet. He was the only person that said it. He's the only person that can be bold enough. Though he didn't call me. I don't have anything against him for that. I understand his situation very well. But others are afraid. Because if they talk, they'll be in trouble. There's a sanction. Like the man from North Korea. They love him out of fear. Nobody in the Autopilot media has ever called me to ask my side of the story. In fact, when Simon said he had a team he was working with outside the Autopilot media, they rose up against it. I was the one that represented them to speak on their behalf where Simon is. They couldn't. So one of the reasons why I left the Autopilot media team was that Simon had no respect for the Autopilot media team. They were being used as his errand boys. They complained several times. And I asked him a question. Why is it that each time you go on air to make a comment, we only hear it from you just like other Biafrans? We're supposed to work with you. He said, well, as the Holy Ghost, as the Spirit leads him, he does. I said, okay, that's true. So the second reason why I left the Autopilot media team is they are consistently interfering in doing my business. Sometimes you see when we are out doing something, you see me in one of my cars. I have two vehicles. I have an Equinox, Chevrolet, and have a Silverado. So the Silverado is the pickup truck. The Equinox is the SUV. The pickup truck is the business one. I use it for my business. It's when I want to go and preach that I use the SUV. So sometimes you see me, even someone has once told them that Emeka must be in the mall because I'm a busy man, very busy man. And I carry my pickup truck to do my business. So sometimes you see me in the pickup truck while doing business. It is interfering with my business, but I do it while working Biafrans. I run a company here that does moving. You know, people call us and say, we want to transfer our furniture long distance from state to state. So maybe I hire a big truck, get people that work with me. They go and do the job. Sometimes they go and do it, I stay. Sometimes I join them to make sure the job is thoroughly done. So it was interfering with my business. And I said, I'm going to leave the Autopilot media. So, when this thing has happened, even when Simon came out on the air and suspended us, go and watch all my broadcasts. I never raised any comment against her. As a matter of fact, Dr. Apoki made a comment, why do they hate the Igbo so much? And in making his commentary, I was listening. It was very interesting. Somebody sent it to me. But along the line, Apoki deviated and said that his anger is that Simon Ekpa has been promoting violence in Biafransland and they're killing people. And Simon Ekpa is supported by Emeka Livingstone. And he said that Simon Ekpa does not have investment in Nigeria. And Emeka Livingstone, I know him very well, he doesn't have any investment. Who told him so? Who told Apoki I don't have investment? Or should I come and be telling him? Am I stupid? That's a very, very foolish talk from Dr. Apoki. He knows me very well. I work with Dr. Apoki in the ministry, Church of God Mission. He knows me very, very well. Our bishop is still alive. Emeka Livingstone is not a hidden person. He knows me very well. I work with him. My class was the second largest Sunday school class in Church of God Mission, Tetano Mola Road. His was the first, and it was not bigger than my own with much margin because he was a superintendent. We studied in Sunday school together. We went to the leprosy settlement in Ikorotoiwo to pray for lepers. And God was healing people. He knows when the white men came into the business to come and support us, Apoki removed us, and I wasn't interested. Go and ask Bishop Johnny Abraham Mensa. He's a Ghanaian man. He's in Nigeria. He'll tell you. So Apoki knows me very well. And he says, I know Emeka, he doesn't have any investment. So I came out to clarify to Apoki that Simon Ekpa has never preached violence in Biafransland. That he has succeeded in exposing to the whole world how the Nigerian government has consistently killed our people, introducing Boko Haram into the government to kill our people. And that ESN was not formed by Simon Ekpa, but he's supporting it to secure our boundaries and protect our women. I was defending Simon Ekpa myself. Do you know, 2 days later, Simon Ekpa went and presented Apoki's program on his Twitter. That broadcast that indicted Simon Ekpa that he's a killer, and me, I'm also a killer. And I spoke in defense of Simon Ekpa myself. 2 days later, Simon Ekpa went and posted that thing in Twitter. That Apoki's thing. They wrote there number 2. And you know what? They cut off the clip where Apoki spoke against Simon Ekpa myself and presented the other one. And if Apoki sees it, he will say, Emeka is a fool. That look at the man he's defending. He's the one that is promoting my thing in his tweet. And he has a lot of light for that. Do you understand? Do you understand? When Simon Ekpa when they said he was invited by the police, which among the Autopilot media people thought? We were the one that came on air to encourage Biafrans not to be afraid. That guy is doing a good job, God is with him. And he came out. We came out and spoke. We spoke against Blinken and Katonalian. It was Kelechi Ambrose and myself, Princess M. We're talking. Where have we done wrong? That we have been branded criminals. And anyway, the second one, I was on my own after I said that thing. And I kept quiet. Because I said to myself, I told people, I am not going to fight. Because this guy, God raised him to give us Biafra. So I'm not going to fight. Let the thing will, delay the Biafra. It cannot derail it. Nobody can delay the Biafra project. None of us. The most you can do is to delay it. And I don't want to be part of delaying. I would rather drop my pride and name and take insult to see to it that he carries on with his project. And I was supporting him. Even after he has made that first comment. Go and listen to all my tapes. I never used one single word against him. From the depth of my heart. Yet he was not done. He kept looking out for me. And then what happened? I was on my own. People started calling me. Because I don't know people. I don't know them. I don't know people. All the commanders you are talking of, I don't know any of them. And they began to call me, look, something is wrong. You say you're an elderly man, you cannot speak. They said our soldiers on ground, they don't have granite or food or students on Kiwa. Masia, I told you people, I am not part of it. I don't know. Oh no, go Madam Azuka. As in how Azuka na phone and name Mr. Call Simon. As in Simon's line and aga at all. Remember this letter which was written to Simon. He came out that first letter. He said that these people have a plan and this and that they had a meeting without telling him. Do you understand? I mean the first letter. No. Okay, it's the second letter. I'm coming to that. Yeah, I'm coming to the second letter. So when all these things happened, I kept quiet, was supporting Simon, moving on. Then people began to disturb me. I told them, go and talk to Simon. I said, it's okay. I will not talk to Simon. He suspended me the other time. I don't know his state of mind where I am now. They said, no, you must call him. That you are an elderly man in this fight. Call him. He doesn't want to give us audience. Maybe he can listen to you. So that you can bring him on the platform. Let us tell him our problems. Let him hear us out. That was the reason. I was not even there for anything than to bring his attention. And trust me, if I stay there with Simon and he begin to say something, I can help him to explain. Definitely. Regardless of what happened. Because I am not petty to look into that. The focus is Biafra. I know that in the process we may offend each other, but the focus is Biafra. So when they kept disturbing me, I said, okay, I am going to call an elderly man I know that Simon respects. Let him send a letter to Simon. The man called Simon on phone. Simon did not pick 3 times on 3 different occasions. We told him, okay, send him an email. He sent. The people said they are not satisfied, that I must send my own email. I took a letter and sent an email to Simon Eber. I'm trying to look for that email. I'm trying to look for that email. That email that was sent to Simon Eber was okay. Yes, I have the email here. I wrote, dear, it is titled A Matter of Urgency. Dear Simon, given to developments that raise some serious security concerns and based on our collective desire to see Biafra actualized, I and some very concerned Biafrans request an urgent meeting with you to put our heads together and see if we can come up with ideas on the way forward. I hope this request meets you well. Faithfully yours in the fight for freedom, Emeka Livingstone. Umona, and we'll call you know, fact finding. I don't know where Simon got his fact finding. And where he got fact finding there. Yes, if Yombico, I was once against you, yes. Because of the information they gave me, I was not problem from. The very day I turned away from Azuka was the day Ifi Yombico posted that tape. I don't know whether it's Ifi that posted or whoever. Where Azuka was arguing with Simon and Madam Arewa over Ifi concerning account. From that very day, I'm a right-thinking person. It was clear. I turned my face. I stopped calling Azuka. But I have not accused her of anything. I've not mentioned her name. And I had to apologize to Ombiko because this young lady, she told me that she had so much confidence in me that I was going to deal with this issue and bring sanity. That for 6 months, she was so badly hurt in her spirit. This is how wicked we are. She was suffering. Nobody cared. If Yombiko, one other thing that pained me, that I wanted to see Yombiko and apologize to her. She said she opened her mouth and told Azuka in confidence that my husband is a DOS member, but I'm for Autopilot. Oh, we have a no. For Azuka herself told Ifi, don't worry, your husband can be in APC, you be in PDP. That happens in families. It's not a big deal. So if he told you in confidence her belly, and now use it against her, it can destroy her marriage. For heaven's sake. How do you people think? You people are wicked, you are wicked, you're wicked, you're wicked. She was hurting for 6 months. Infiltration was hurting and hurting and hurting. You cannot sacrifice Ifeanyi to get Biafra. You cannot hurt her and destroy her soul to get Biafra. God will not give it to you. God will give us Biafra, but you will not be part of it. Because your intention is to hurt her and send her to an early grave. It is you that go to an early grave, not herself. If Ifeanyi has done anything against Biafra, come out with it. We shall stand against her. If I've done anything against Biafra, come out with it. If you stand against me, I have had time to deal with us a little, and I understand that she wants things to be done properly. She's a very organized, organized woman. Somebody said she was begging money to pay her children's school fees. Where they stay, the children go to school free of charge. You see, people just come up. The people want to show that they are supporting Biafra and Simon, so they can crucify you. They don't care. And those people are the real enemies of Biafra. You see, all those people that are insulting me, they're the real enemies of Biafra. Because they want me to be provoked and talk and destroy Biafra. I will not. The people who are encouraging me are the people who are true friends of Biafra. I say, please don't be angry. This thing will be settled. Good persons seek peace. Evil person look for war. If he apologized to you, okay, one more time in the internet, I didn't know. The very day you gave that publication was the day I turned my face away from Asuka. Because there's no how. Asuka has to come and explain. Maybe she has a better explanation as to why she's leader of Umuada and the husband. I'm very friendly with the husband. And the husband is in charge of finances. And Asuka is the one that disburses, the treasurer, the disburses. I don't know. I don't know a lot of things in Biafran struggle. So all these commanders called me and said, please, let us have an audience with Simon Ekpa. There's nothing like fact-finding. You people there was a young man that said he's the defender of Simon Ekpa. He came out and spoke. He said, that is giving me the last grace. People talk out of point. That after this, he'll come out brutal. That I was talking about fact-finding. The man is so stupid and idiotic that he couldn't read this letter. He couldn't ask Simon because he's afraid of Simon. That guy who published that thing is such a very, very low-brained person that he could not ask Simon, can we see the letter that Livingstone gave you? That's a fact-finding. Simon Ekpa was depending on what the Holy Ghost told him. He didn't want to hear from me. He didn't want to read my letter. He said we had a meeting without his knowledge. But this letter was sent to Simon, and Emma Madwabum read the letter. How could Emma go into Simon's email and read this letter if Simon has not seen it? And Simon could not come and tell Biafrans the truth that he read the letter and decided to ignore it. Rather, he said, we never met him, we never told him, we had a meeting, a fact-finding meeting. But this is the letter. The letter was sent to Simon Ekpa on when was it sent? It was sent on the March 6th, on the 6th of March, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. 6th of March. If I'm not mistaken. Either 2nd or 6th, but I'm seeing 6th here. So the letter was sent, it's recorded there. Why would you be lying? If not that maybe he has aught against me, I don't know. Let me give you a classical example. I encountered Simon some time ago, and Azuka begged me to forgive, not to take offense. We were doing fundraising. We had finished, and we had a break time. So I told Simon, I said, please, Simon, I've been wanting to get across to you. I've been calling you, I've not been picking. That there's certain information I want to give you from our platform. You know what Simon answered me? And what has that information got to do with the Biafran struggle? It was a slap on my face in the presence of all. Some of them were. Even Gaddafi came back and told me and said, Pastor Livingstone, that thing Simon did, he doesn't like it. That there are certain people you don't fight against in life. It was a slap, a hurt on me. So somebody told him, say, no, Pastor said he wanted to see you now. He called you. He said, that's why I didn't answer him. I knew he was not talking sense. He had nothing to offer. That's why I ignored it. You know me. If I knew that I had something to offer, I would have listened to it. That was a direct insult. He has insulted me several times. I'm just telling this one for the first time now. And when he did it, I called Azuka's attention. I said, look at what's happening. Did you hear that? She said she heard it. I said, he'll get back to Simon. It's okay. So she went to Simon and came back to me and said, don't worry, I've talked to Simon. Simon says I respect Pastor Livingstone very well. I'll get back to him. I said, no problem. That was where it ended. I'm like, then come back and see and do. It's okay. That was what Azuka did to me. Homage. I bore it and left. Why would he insult me? Okay. It says the letter was sent to him on 12th of March. Yes. The letter was sent to Simon on the 12th of March. He got it. He read it. He deliberately ignored the letter so as to come out on Facebook and paint the picture of Emeka Livingstone as a demon. And idiots are buying it and swallowing it, hook, line, and sinker. None of them could call him. All this time he has been abusing me. Nobody has called him and said, please, this is wrong. Just keep it. Please, take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. None of them. The media people couldn't call me even for once to find out what happened. Not even a single person. I was like good riddance of bad women. No single person in media. Up to today, as I'm talking to you, but 247. If what 247 said against me is true, I'm going to use an example. God will increase that his media and he make more money. If not, that his platform will collapse. He will get Simon Ekpa treatment. Not long from now. Simon Ekpa will happen to him. His platform will collapse. Because God will not sit down and watch evil go on and keep quiet and they hurt somebody who is innocent. It was at that point I left Azuka. I had praised Azuka to the extent I told Azuka, if you have suspended Ifeanyi and Simon is still giving her consideration, talking with her on internet, and when he's making phone-in program, he gives Ifeanyi a long time, it's an affront to your person. Because when Simon suspended Dinkema, he told us not to talk to him. And won't even you. Now that you have suspended Ife, why is Simon dealing with Ife? That it is wrong. The principle is wrong. Go and tell Simon that what he's doing is wrong. That he should suspend Ife. I said it. But when I heard Ife's comment, her tape, my God, I was to go and apologize to this girl. I said, sorry if I'm calling you a girl. I'm talking about you are a woman. The time Simon Ekpa accused us of having a meeting with Odinkema, this last one, Odinkema was not in the meeting. I've not spoken to Odinkema for the past 7 months. It was only maybe 2 days ago we had a meeting. The one that, each time we have a meeting, Simon Ekpa sends people to come. And he said I've been excommunicated. So why come to where I'm having meeting to find out and still come? It is not me. He is not behaving like the Fulani headsmen who have left their territory to come into my territory, Igbo land, to attack us. It is not Igbos that went to the north to attack them. He has said, you are excommunicated. Okay, granted. Then he's the one that is sending spies. He is coming into. He doesn't have anything again to talk. To begin to find out where he can blame Livingstone and ask him, have we ever gone to find out what he's doing in his meeting? I don't care. I'm not interested. I wish him well. That young man did not go to find from Simon Ekpa what was the content of that letter. He said, Emeka Livingstone said, fact finding, I'm going to be brutal. Idiot. You don't take time to go and find out. You begin to act because you want Simon to see you like a good guy and then bring you up. So you can sacrifice somebody to go up. Your platform shall never see the light of the day. Be enjoying now. It won't last. I'm telling you the truth. Evil does not last. I'm robber. Yahoo. It doesn't last. Somewhere along the line, they'll be arrested. It collapses. They go to prison. That's your platform. You raise up your voice against me will not last. The same thing with 247. If what you have said against me is true before God, your platform will last. If it is not 247, your platform will collapse. For you to open your mouth to speak against me, I don't want to curse you, but I'm telling you, if what 247 said against me is true, his platform will continue. And he will be glorified in Biafra. If not, it will collapse. Because the Bible says that God shall by no means acquit the wicked. Evil people. You have mouth to talk. And now, when they even accused Kelechi that he has eaten, they gave him money. Who gave Kelechi money? That he goes to platforms. We were running our platform. We did not want to ask Biafra to give us money to buy computer and run our platform for Biafra. We said, no, we can do it ourselves. So we collectively contributed and bought, because Kelechi is his secretary. He's anchoring. So Simon used Kelechi so much. He knew how resourceful that man is. So many personal letters. It was this Kelechi is condemning. Kelechi's sin is that Kelechi came and revealed to me that they want to put their faces on Biafran currency. That's Simon's anger against Kelechi. When he went and met with the board, they sacked Kelechi. And when Kelechi confronted Emma said, when you were put into the board, you were not told. So when you be removed, you'll not be told. That is the Nigerian mentality. You don't do that in America. Who is Emma to remove Kelechi from the board? Kelechi was in this struggle. I mean this one. Not before. I mean this present one. Before Victor came in. Kelechi has played a very credible role in the Biafran struggle. Far, far more than Emma. Even Prince, who started broadcasting when he joined us, has played very, very vital role than Emma. Who knows Emma? He's just there trying to be in the commanding heights and talk evil against people, gossiping so that they'll bring people down, they'll come up, they'll go and put their faces in currency. Do you know that in Hajimanandi Igbo, acquire a cloth, it can appear in a currency? That's where you sell our technology to the whole world. Mandena Konubo, this young band said Hajimanandi Igbo, you put it in a currency. Why would you bring these people? I'm telling you the truth. We truncated his plan to put his face, that of Azoka, Ngozora Boise, and Oge. And it's their anger against me and against Kelechi. The people are accusing Juliet and Ibeze that, in fact, Simon said they gave Juliet money. That was not the right thing to say. Simon did not give Juliet any money. He didn't give her his money. It was the money from the Biafran Post, which you and I contributed. Among all those that were looked out for to be arrested in Nigeria, it was Juliet, and out of those 5 people, she was the only woman. So that will tell you how effective her activity in the Biafran struggle have been, and the Nigerian authorities are aware. That girl has done a great job. And when her life was in danger, she did not tell anybody. She was in my platform. Called Azuka and said, this girl is living in the north. Please, let us send money and send her out of Nigeria to another place. And while they were delaying, this girl left her business and went out. Before that money, 300,000 was given to her. It is the money of Biafrans. You don't use it to abuse her. It is like Ota Onyendu now in detention. He has fought for Biafra. And we are spending money for Onyendu from Biafran Post. And tomorrow you can tell Onyendu, we gave you money. I helped you. Like that time someone said, we are going to be spending 1 million naira for his feeding. So that, and then when you do it tomorrow, you tell Onyendu, I gave you money when you were feeding. It's from Biafran money. Onyendu has paid the price. So it's Juliet at her own level. You have to respect that. And you are saying you gave Juliet money. The same thing with Uzaganobi. It was me that took Uzaganobi's case to Azuka and to Simon. To the extent Simon was telling me, that every time you keep bringing this Juliet case, because they were delaying. Somebody, Mam Jackie, said, Misha, do you have any problem with that? If she's my girlfriend, is Juliet not a grown-up woman? The media people could not speak on behalf of her life. It's me that spoke. They didn't. Because they don't care. Somebody who is fighting for Biafra, she's living in the zoo. Her life is in danger. A Joffa is out to kill her. And you don't even go and tell us, no, we must bring this shit out of that place. Somebody was saying, okay, she has privilege. That would they give to every Biafran? You see the way they think? Can you bring out your neck the way Juliet did? Her face is on Facebook. She's still in the zoo talking, not being afraid. In my name, we keep her there. And you go up on Nigeria, got somewhere else. If I will go, then Juliet and Bese go. Or we go kick Kenya. It's not your money. Juliet and Bese should thank all Biafrans because they contributed. So you did not do Juliet any favor. It is your responsibility as a leader to take care of the people. That is what Americans do. Any American that is anywhere in trouble, Americans put their resources, send their soldiers, covert operations to go down, save that person, bring him back home. He is not grateful to the covert operation manager or the governor or the president. He's grateful to American people so that they don't bend your loyalty to one man and you become his slave. When you want to talk, your friends don't want to listen. If you are going to accuse Victor Oxlaganobi and Juliet and Beze, Gaddafi himself was in problem financially and told me that he has been telling them in Autopilot for more than 1 year or 2 years that if they had come to his rescue, he would not have lost his document in South Korea or wherever, I don't know. Yeah, South Korea. Gaddafi called me. In fact, one woman called me one night. She said she couldn't sleep. She was crying that if she had money, she would have given it to Gaddafi. That I should do something. That I should use my office and approach Simon and Azuka. Let them give Gaddafi money and get him out of problems. Otherwise, if Gaddafi is deported from South Korea, they'll send him to Nigeria and I said, really? Say yes. I took my phone. I called Azuka and said, look, I can't remember an name freedom fighting. People who are suffering and working, they'll just kill them. We don't know. Let's give him Mr. Gaddafi. Gaddafi is in trouble. All he needs is $500. I didn't know Gaddafi needed more than that. I'm coming. Mr. We need to raise money for Gaddafi so that he can correct his document. Otherwise, they will deport him and he's in trouble. And in South Korea, if you don't have a job, you're likely to be deported. That was when Azuka raised $500. But before she raised the money, we had several meetings. When I met Simon the last time, I told him, please, we must see to Gaddafi's case. And Simon said, yes. He has said it. That Gaddafi will give you anything you need. I called Gaddafi. Because Gaddafi later on told me that he needed more than 500. But if they can give him 500, he will add up the other one. I told Gaddafi, Simon said they'll give you anything you want. Don't go and tell them 500. Since you need more than 500, tell them you need $1,000. So that they will save you from problem. Because you're a Biafra and you're fighting the war. For Biafra. Gaddafi is listening to me. If I'm telling lies, God will judge me. I'm not speaking against Gaddafi. No. And Gaddafi, they gave him $500. That was what happened. Only for me to hear that that money that was given to Gaddafi to go and take care of South Korea job or problem was a money she paid to Ifeanyi Biko that he was owing her. So I was misled. See, Candy is begging me that I'm revealing a lot. Candy, you know you're my friend. All the while that Simon has been insulting me here talking. That's what none of you sent him a letter saying, nah, Simon, we don't want your Biko. He ain't a Pastor Livingstone. People should try and settle this thing. None of you said it. Now I am talking. People are becoming worried that I should take it easy. I should take, what kind of thing is that? You don't build Biafra on lies, on him and murder. You build Biafra on truth. Nobody's above the law, including myself. Onyendu said that any day he derails, the nearest person should shoot him. If Onyendu can say that, that applies to Mecca Livingstone and to Simon Eba. It's only for me to hear. I didn't know anything. Oh, I didn't know. The man told me, Ifeanyi told me, and Kelechi told me that Emakanega Higaga with her. Nega Gaddafi Jega and Kwa Ifeanyi go Ojia. No, we South Korea. You were deceived into going to tell Azuka to bring money. That is how I work in Biafran struggle with all my heart, because our brethren must be protected. That you didn't do Zaganobi a favor. He has been fighting for Biafra. So when you give money to save him from being killed, it is what you should do. Because if Uzaganobi were in your position, he is also expected to do that. You don't expect me to come and tell you thank you. It is only when you spend your money on me, then I should tell you thank you. Somebody raised a comment and said, in fact, the person that should be thanked concerning Juliet is the person that went and carried her case to Azuk and Simon. It was me. But I didn't ask Juliet for any thank you. In fact, there was a message that Juliet sent me 2 days ago, thanking me, or 3 days ago. Somebody was in trouble. Juliet called me and said, sir, this person is in trouble. He needs money. Please, can you help? I was very busy, so I couldn't attend to the person. I called somebody I know in Texas. I said, please, this person needs help. Can you send money to that person? The person said, yes, sir. Immediately, the person sent money to that person. And Juliet now began to thank me for the good deal I did for that person, because it's not Biafran money. I told her, no, it's not me. The money was sent to him from Texas. Alex, today, your contribution to the struggle is immense. Please, you push to reconcile. You tell Simon Eba. He's been talking for the past 3 weeks. When we have meeting, he said, let me come to excommunication. IPOB means indigenous people of Biafra. It has a generic interpretation and also a social connotation. From the generic perspective is, if you are born a Biafran, your parents are Biafrans, you are automatically an indigenous Biafran. Nobody can expel you from Biafra. It's like telling Igbo man, you're no longer an Igbo man. I expel you from, or Yoruba man, say, you're expelled from Duduwa Republic. When you begin to talk like that, it means something is wrong with you upstairs. The social connotation is registered members of IPOB. Where a registered member can be expelled from IPOB like Onyendu did to Ruago. You can go Ruago. That is as a registered member, not as an IPOB indigent. Ikengo Ruago still remains an indigenous person of Biafra. But in the social perspective, as a sworn member, he's been removed from the point where he swore to be a member participating. He no longer have access to their meeting and information. He's just a Biafran. Now, Autopilot does not operate in the social perspective of IPOB. Autopilot operates in the generic term. And Simon Eba came out and said, I've been excommunicated. No Biafran should deal with me. Can you imagine? That is taking things too far. I begin to feel that there is something, anger. There's an anger in him against me. I don't know, because I'm not fighting for anything. But one thing I know that Simon did a very good job when we started. He fought DOS. We stood behind him. We spoke. We fought. His vision was clear. And I stood against everyone that stood against Simon. But somewhere along the line, he missed it. The very day Simon Epa said he needs money, people should come and begin to give big money. You remember the time they did this dragon thing? Ngozi Oraboeze bought it and paid 3,000. It was at that point, because she wanted to meet him. She tried to come through me. I don't know why, because ordinarily you ask me somebody's number, you want to meet Simon, I give it to you directly. You see, I was making that mistake, so I wanted to correct it. Because every Biafran should have access to Simon, as far as I'm concerned. He's our leader, our spokesperson. So that's how Ngozi Oraboeze found her way into. At that point, Simon changed. That was where he changed. And at changing, I realized that he was good in fighting for the Biafran struggle. Human management. He has a big problem. He doesn't know how to manage issues. He doesn't know how to manage people. Because a leader must have the ears of the people. If they say, we want to see you. Yes, I'm available. Tell me your problems. Because all eyes are on you. Regardless of your age. The mantle has been given to you. That you should lead. And God will give you the wisdom to do it and people to support you. So at any point in time, you must stay to hear your people as they cry. But if your people call you and you block them, they can't access you, they become confused. That was why they began to come to me. And I was reluctant. They forced me to write this letter to you. That I must bring you on table. They want you to hear them out. And that is what the content of that said. That's why that idiot that said it's going to be brutal. I want him to be brutal. I want him to let him talk. And let me tell him that he will die. He will not get up to 60 years. He will die on the way. Because he cannot talk to his father like that. And he cannot talk to his mother like that. If his mother is older than me, it wouldn't be more than 3, 4, 5 years. I did my primary 6, 1971. How old was the mother then? That guy is an idiot. I had the temerity to tell me that he's going to be brutal. He's giving me one last grace, as if he's God. Look at a very wicked unbeliever. We have a problem of leadership now in IPOB. Simon Epa has missed it. He said that he's the last bus stop for any man that is against Nnamdi Kanu. That is true. Actually, was the last bus stop to DOS members. But what about those who are not against Nnamdi Kanu? Can you be my last bus? No. He is the one that is working contrary to what he believed in. I will be his last bus stop if he's not careful. I'm not interested in surface. But when you fight against the truth, when you begin to come out to hurt me as a man of God, just like you have built reputation, you have son. You people respect your son. That's why I want people to respect my own sons. You are living good. At least I want to live good. Above board. That's why I want to live above board. And I'm careful not to make any comment that can make my son ask me tomorrow, Daddy, why did you say this? They have watched you insult me several times, calling me a criminal, excommunicating me, talking. I sent you 2 letters, for heaven's sake. The first one was an appeal. The second one also was an appeal. There was no place like fact-finding. It is there in the letter. Where did that man get it? Simon came out and told them, you're misleading the people. We have a leadership problem. There's a vacuum in leadership. Because you're no longer yourself until you remove Ngozi Oraboeze from you. Until Victor Adim rises up to his occasion as a man of God to tell the truth and help you out. These same people might discredit you in this program at the end of the day. All that you have suffered to do. Because you have refused to listen to the cries of the people. Emeka Livingston did not tell you had cries. I didn't tell you I had problems. I'm in America here. For heaven's sake. I'll be going for my citizenship very soon. So I may decide not to come again to Biafra. But I will go, Biafra will come. So I didn't have problems. It was those on ground, those who were suffering. They were calling me. Call him for me, ask him. Call Kelechi, ask him. Call others. They gathered and said, Emeka Livingston, you must talk. Certain people I refused to talk to were angry with me that I have not shown that I just followed you. I didn't care about them because I didn't want to know much. There are times when they want to give me information in IPOB. Ask Gaddafi, you tell you, I don't want to know second information because that you have heard known information, you're already committed. I don't want to know much in IPOB. How everything, I'm not interested. That I don't want to get information. That information should get automatically, that will commit you. That is why I don't know much. It's just recently I began to know a lot that is good. I didn't know before. And you begin to see vacuum in leadership. When you tell a leader, please look at this thing, instead of considering it and telling you, no, we're not going to do it, it comes on air to start abusing you. Do you know what it means to excommunicate somebody? You are bringing down his reputation. You are damaging his reputation. You are making false accusations against him. It's something that can affect his marriage. Do you know that Simon never thought in that line? Because I did not accuse Simon directly or indirectly. I never did. I presented to him a letter appealing, extolling his virtues. Brought him on the platform, we discussed. He apologized to the woman insulted and told us, please do not abandon me. Make sure you keep calling me. Then he went on and started talking on that thing, putting my reputation on the line. And somebody is telling me that I should keep quiet. So when I keep quiet, then at the end of the day, I die. My marriage gets destroyed. My children are they're discredited. Then you'll be happy. You've gotten Biafra. You can't get Biafra at the expense of my blood. It's not possible. Because I'm not going to get Biafra at another person's expense. I have to pay the price for Biafra. You have to pay your own price. Prince says, Simon is imbecilic and irrelevant. Believe me. That's what he said. Nearly opened him up. Azuka re-entered. And Ngozo Raboise finished. Of course. At the level Simon is now, he's no longer fully in control. Because if Simon did not know that there is G5 inside the team which he formed, advisory committee, he didn't know when G5 was formed. It was there. I don't record things. If it was recorded, you will see it where he said that is the advisory committee. Kelechi told him no, it's not. It's G5. So which G5? Simon said he doesn't know anything like G5. Where you are sitting down as the king. These kind of things are happening. You don't know. You're not aware. You have lost touch. You have lost control of the issue. Somewhere you've missed it. That you started something does not mean you finish it. Biafra is bigger than you. And therefore Biafra must come. With or without you. We need to bring Biafrans. We need to bring Biafrans together. We have to work as a team. It is not a one-man show. It is you Biafrans that are trying to kill Simon. When you give him all the names, you give him all the praises, you make him look larger than life. Aboki said he's suffering from megalomania. And I challenged Aboki. I said, you fell short of calling him alpha male. Because even though Simon has insulted me, I was defending him. He went and published Aboki's comments. Is it to mock me or ridicule me? Some idiots will come out and say, Simon, go ahead and be finding out what is happening in their team to come. He said we've been expelled. Onyendu said, if no any way to get Biafra, get it. I have not come to tell you I was spying on Simon. So why not leave me alone? He's the one that will send people to come and get information and go and give to him. He depended more on what Holy Ghost commander told him. But the letter we wrote, he ignored it. Called me and asked me, he couldn't. He's missing it. And he has missed it. He's tripping. That same Holy Ghost, which he said he doesn't know him, was the Holy Ghost he addressed in a meeting. You saw when Kelechi produced that thing. There's something wrong. It's not stable again. It's not stable. He says something, he forgets it. He says something, he forgets it. It's no longer as coordinated as it used to be. Because in that meeting, he told Holy Ghost, release those ammo you have to Butuzo. And no, he told Shadow, release them to Butuzo and Holy Ghost. They need it. Then he came to another place and said, I don't know who Holy Ghost is. You don't know him? A commander of that stature? Who told you and discussed with you was not going to listen to you? And you gave him time. If he doesn't bring it down, you see who you are, whatever you have. Something is wrong somewhere. There's vacuum of leadership in the Biafran struggle. We have seen it. And God will help us. We are going to run a Biafra that is all-inclusive. It is not a one-man show. That is why you can see the authority Azuka is exhibiting. If you want to talk, she will shut you down. But it is Biafra. But it's now run like one-man organization, my business. If he is entitled to speak, and someone was telling Azuka, allow Ife to talk. Others have spoken. It is her turn. Azuka says she will not speak. Reason that Ife is angry because she's not signatory to the account. We have agreed, but let her speak. Why are you afraid of her speaking? It's the Biafran money. This is the first time I'm making comment on it. I want to hear your own point of view. Let me see how I can use it and tell if you know you're not correct here. Because I know people don't know phone. So you have spoken, allow Ife to speak. And certain Biafrans are so evil and wicked. They cannot even tell Ife, please speak, let's hear. They're there cursing her, condemning her. And she's speaking on your behalf because she was put in there. I was against Ife at the beginning. Barbara called me and told me that I broke her heart. That I refused to listen to them. So Commander Shadow was telling you, Simon, you were discussing with Commander Shadow, arguing with him. But in the next block, I say, you don't know him. I've not even seen Commander Shadow. I only got to know about him when these things started happening. And introduced him to me. I've not even known him. I've not seen him face to face. You cannot get Biafra through lies and propaganda. You cannot get it through manipulation. If you are gambling on something to get Biafra, it doesn't work that way. You must work with people. And the people you work with is not Ngozi Orabueze. It's not Emma. Those are the people you work with. Go look for people who have brains, that they are professionals in different fields. The person who's supposed to take care of our commanders, ESN, shouldn't be Azoka, because she knows nothing about. In military, there is logistics, there is finance in military, there is administration, there's the police, the political wing, covert operation, counterintelligence. In the military, there's so many branches. So it is better you put it into the hand of people who understand the way military operates. You don't give it to somebody who she's pleased, say, madam, when you talk, say, no, if you don't support me, I'm not going to support your camp. I'll keep you hungry. No. Military has gone beyond person. She's in America here, for heaven's sake. Nobody should be grateful to Azuka that she gave a camp money. They are sacrificing their lives, and the money is being contributed. Before you give money, that's why military should be handled by veterans. They are experts in that field. I have no business with men on ground. They were the one that called me, and they wanted his attention. I was acting as a bridge with this person, Mark Jacob. Work with your brains. Talk, think. Look into what you're thinking. Process something in your mind. I don't know. Did you ever hear that Emeka Livingstone has men on ground? Dealt with them? No. Until now. I never had anything with them. I didn't want to know. Sometimes commanders call me. He say, I'm commander. I say, who gave you my number? That the man in charge of his Azoka. Why would they come to me? And even then, did I ever tell Simon one day that Azoka is not doing a good job? I want to take over. I'm not interested. I was to be a bridge between you and them so that you can hear them out. You fail to use your brains because you're being controlled by Ngozi Orabueze. And Azoka has something against you in that direction. Why will Azuka hold strong to this thing? This is the government of Biafra. Her husband should not be, regardless of what happened, if on a temporal basis, that account was raised to meet up some logistic problems. 2 months after that, a proper account would have been set with the right people that are going to be signatories to it. That is the way for transparency, so that nobody can come out and sit and say, I will deal with you. I am this. You people like too much big names, and Biafrans help to kill you. Because you are losing it. And Biafrans who are praising you are responsible. Umeji Agog, Umeji Buaga, Blue and Red and Green Dragon. They gave you all names. And I don't blame you, because Obaginishi, it is them that caused it. They build a tyrant out of a man. Hitherto was humble. Because when we started, Simon pray and tell you he believes in God. He's a believer in Jesus Christ, his Lord and personal Savior. Simon no longer talked about 100 men. That one has gone. But that was where Onyendu stood. I said 100 men. He knew that it's not something which your money can do. It is not the connection of Ngozi Orabueze and Emma and Oge that will give us Biafra. Because if you let them, they have staked a lot of money. You must listen to them. And if you must listen to them, you must make concession. Because they're the one bringing the money that you need. But Onyendu said, the time is coming. It is not what we need. It's your mental strength, faith in God. We have men on ground. They do to lie money. Make sure that this money is reached them. And they must not be through Azuka. You have come out now and defended Azuka, that she has not eaten any money. Fine. I have not accused her of anything. All I'm saying is, people are making inquiries. Let her come out and explain. That is how you know a good leader is accountable. The husband knows this. Once people are talking, go out and explain, okay, look at what happened. The people themselves can decide and say, we don't want you again to be in charge of funds. Leave it. You have been living in America for years. You have made your own money. And now, yesterday or 2 days ago, if he came out with another bombshell, that the nakedness of Nelly, because Nsima called me personally and was asking me, Livingstone, let me ask you a question. Is it good that Simon published Nelly's nakedness on internet? Is it a good thing? Talk, you're a man of God. I told him Simon didn't, because when we asked Simon, Simon said it was not him. That it was the native doctor's son that published that thing. And that's what I told Nsima. That was what Simon told me. But today I realized that what I told the Shima was not true. But that was information I had. That's same thing I'm telling Ifomiko today. I work based on information that I had. I didn't want to go deep into anything. That is me. I don't like getting deep into things that are too wonderful for me. So when the Shima asked me that thing, I told the Shima, the way you are talking in this struggle is not helping matters. But I don't support the idea of showing Nelly's nakedness on internet. I answered him. And I told him it's not a Simon that did it. That was what he said. I believed him. But if he came out and said that she gave it to Azuka sent it to Simon, and within 1 hour they saw it in his Twitter space where he covered her face, her breast, and her private part, but he has exposed it. That was too petty. Because when you expose the nakedness of a Biafran woman, you have exposed the nakedness of all Biafran women, because they are equally constituted the same way. It is not for me to do it. It is for Umada to handle that thing. Why would I do it if it's not that I'm being vindictive? When I sit down, I think sometimes I do discuss with one woman. I said, Nelly is very strong. For seeing Maria, commit suicide. But she has remained strong. For you to expose Nelly's nakedness like that, it is an evil thing. And we said it before now. We've been saying that it's evil. Whoever is doing it is not right. I don't support it. I never supported it. I never did from the onset. Isima asked me a question. Is in my phone here? And I told him no. Simon never did. Because that was information Simon gave me. But today we're hearing otherwise. All they are asking from Madam Azuka is, give us information. They're not telling you to remove, whether nobody's accusing you whether you are signated to your account. If they're accusing you, I don't know. Because I don't know much. A lot of time. In fact, there was a time 247 was saying that I was gossiping them to Azuka. A time came. I was discussing with Azuka. She gave me an information. I asked her who told you. She said she gets information. I said, this information you're giving me now, I'm being accused that it's me that gave you this information. Azuka began to laugh. She's listening to me. I said, I'm being accused of giving information, which you are telling me now. She said she hears things. I said, how come? But they're accusing me. Dear friends, we have a vacuum in leadership. Simon is no longer what he used to be. He started very well from the beginning. Very, very well. When you hear him talk, you see glory. His word was like thunder, going across the length and breadth of the nations. And Nigeria was trembling. But the day he deviated, the spirit departed from him. And that was when he turned against those who work with him. I'm not asking for anything. They asked me, call you, discuss with them. Simple. You listen.